Hello and good morning, my lovely 3rd and 4th graders. Yes, on this projector is me, Miss Stefino, your art teacher, in, yes, your art room. So, the reason why I'm making this video, you guys, is because today I wanted to talk to you about balance before we did our balance project, of course. But I searched all over YouTube and I just couldn't find a video that was good enough to explain all 3 types of balance to you before we got started. So I decided to make my own. And maybe I'll post it if you guys like it. You'll tell me at the end, right? You'll definitely like it, right? Okay, moving on. So, we know that balance is a principle of design because we've talked about the principles of design in the last few weeks. So, there are 3 types of balance. The first one is called symmetrical, the second one is called asymmetrical, and the third one, which we are going to focus our project on, is called radial. Here is a lovely balance. Now, when we think of balance, we think of something like this, where if you place an object on one side, this will go down and the other side will go up. I want you to think of each and every single drawing, painting, each and every single piece of art that you work on as a balance, where the center of your paper is about that point right there. One side is one side of the balance, and the other side is the other side of the balance. So, for example, if I were to put a circle on one side of the balance or a circle on one side of my piece of paper, it would be off balance. One side would go down and the other side would go up. Now here you have the balance on there, but I'll show you what that looks like on a piece of artwork without the balance. Voila. Now, this is very off balance. Pretend that your beam is still there, it's just invisible. If I have a circle on one side, this weighs down really heavily while the other side goes up. But if I were to add a circle on the other side, in exactly the same spot, it is now balanced again, and it is even on our pretend scale. This is called symmetrical balance, where a paper is pretty much split down the middle, like so. And it's the same on one side as it is on the other. So again, if I drew a smaller circle on this side, it's a little tiny bit off balance, so I'd have to draw a smaller circle in exactly the same place on the other side to regain its balance for a perfectly symmetrical balance. A great example of symmetrical balance in nature is a butterfly. A butterfly is a lovely creature where the wing on one side is exactly the same as the wing on the other side. That is symmetrical balance. Now, the most confusing one is asymmetrical balance because it doesn't have to be exactly the same on both sides. It just needs to have the same amount of weight. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. So again, we have our balance beam here. Now, always in our art pieces, we want our balance beam to be straight across. We do not want one side to go down a little bit and the other side to go up, or vice versa. We want it to be straight across the entire time. Now with asymmetrical balance, if I were to draw a circle on one side and then a circle on the other side, and then a shape, and then a different shape in a different spot, now it's not symmetrical because the shapes aren't in the same exact spot, but it is asymmetrical because the shapes hold the same exact weight. Now, I can't say that this side has any more than this side does, really. So, it's still straight, and that is asymmetrical balance. My favorite one, and the one that we are going to focus our project on, is called radial balance. Now, a perfect example of radial balance is a kaleidoscope. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I asked you guys if you've ever looked through a kaleidoscope before. Some of you said yes, others said no. And the reason why I asked you that, I have a kaleidoscope right here, is because our project is going to be based on a kaleidoscope. So here I have my kaleidoscope that I'm looking through. Wow, it is so incredibly cool. I can't wait for you guys to see this. Oh, I could get lost in doing this all day long. Anyway, you'll get to that. But example of radial balance is where everything comes from a center point on your paper. So for example, here's my paper. It's right in the center there. In radial balance, everything goes around that center. So you have to pretend that your paper is split into sections. So for the sake of time, I'm going to split it into 4 sections right now. If I were to draw let's draw a triangle in one section. Right now it's really off balance. To create radial balance, I will now have to draw that triangle in all of the sections, in the same spot, in the same direction to create that radial balance. Whee! Okay. So now I have my radial balance because it is all coming from the center in those directions. Now the point is that it radiates from the center point. Here I have the beginning stages of the project that we are going to work on, which kind of looks like a kaleidoscope. Ooh, I know, super cool. Ms. Fino, you're so talented. Okay, so I have my center point here, and as you can see, it's split down the middle, it's split across, and then it's also split here and here. Now all I did was use simple shapes and lines to draw in one section and then just copy that into all the other sections so that it radiates out from the middle. So from the middle outward. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do this lovely type of radial balance if you will please join me at table number 3.